Hi, I'm Melissa Nielsen of Waldorf Essentials. Have you ever wanted to write your own curriculum but you just weren't sure where to get started? Well, come with us on this tour and we'll show you how.
Here we go on a tour of our Writing Your Own Curriculum course. Now I will say out the door, this is not for the faint of heart. This is definitely for somebody who is ready to work in order to really be able to sort of sink your teeth in and understand the Waldorf curriculum and then be able to write it for yourself. When I started writing curriculum, I had already been studying it for a long time, so that shouldn't scare you, but it should let you know that you really need to be ready to work. So here we go. We're going to enter this course again through Profiles and Purchases, like we have our other course videos. And then over here to the side, you're going to go to Writing Your Own Curriculum. And here we go. So we start off with just a little audio piece to sort of get your feet wet and introduce you to it. You'll see over here is the sidebar for the curriculum writing course. Now keep in mind that if you're mobile, this part right here will be at the bottom of your page. So you'll want to scroll down if you are mobile, and you'll be able to see it there. So let's start at the beginning here. We have a section for recommended reading, and within that, we have different resources for studying Steiner, some of our favorites, and then we also have some other pieces by great Waldorf teachers, some curriculum guides that I think are super helpful. Like this one here is one of my favorites, the Rudolf Steiner's Curriculum for the Waldorf Schools by Stockmeyer. It's very detailed, but it's an excellent guide. So we sort of take you through the guides that I think are super helpful, and then we also take you through all of the lectures that are pretty foundational to understanding Steiner and sort of where he was coming from with regards to the grades. That's a lot of information right there. Do not feel like you have to assimilate all of it at once. What I honestly would do is I would get started with some of these other resources and then take his lectures on one at a time and listen to each of them individually as you're doing your planning. Have them be a great source to support your planning and to help you refine things. Do not expect to be able to know everything right out the door. So that's a recommended reading site. We also have a whole section on working with temperament and planning. That is an extremely important piece to take into account when you're working with temperament, and I find, or when you're doing your planning, and I find that when you're doing your planning, it's very natural for us as moms, I'm going to scroll down here, for us as moms to sort of plan the way we would think in our head it should go, and that does not always help if we've got children that are of different temperaments. So we have several documents here, and let's see, I was going to bring up this one here. Oh, not that one. Not that one either. There we go. Working with temperaments in your children. So this is a great document because I've gone through and I've compiled pieces for each temperament, sort of giving you information that's pretty general to the temperament. Also, some of our rules that we've sort of come up with, things that I've noticed, things that are super helpful when it comes to planning for them. So I've done that for all of the temperaments. And I find that when you can really look at this, it will be immensely helpful in sort of planning out how how to go about things for each child. And so that is the temperament section. Let's go back here. We also have, scroll all the way back here to the top, we have details for the grades. Now, when I say details, I mean details. I have gone through and I have given you details for each one of the grades. And I thought I would show you that really fast. So let me scroll down here, get through with the introduction information. So each one of the grades is divided up. Now this starts with kindergarten. Of course, Steiner didn't write a whole lot about kindergarten, but I did pull some resources from trusted Steiner resources, and also sort of where you will find information on those very early years within his work, even though he didn't really give any indications for what each child should be learning at that point in time. I have pulled together some articles that are super helpful. material from the Waldorf Online Library, different things that you should consider when you're required to report to the government. So I've done that for each grade. And if you look at this chart here, I'm actually going to scroll down. If you look at, let's just look at grade 1. All the grades are the same. We've got for you the age that the child should be, as per Steiner, the subject that you're teaching, so you'll see it'll change as it goes through the grades because there'll be more subjects. The suggested length of the lesson blocks. So he had suggested lengths for the lesson blocks. Don't let that scare you. Rarely do I ever get within all of those ranges. I look at the overall and do the best I can. Plus, they went to school for more days in Steiner's time. So sort of keep that in mind when you're looking at that. I just put it there so that you could sort of understand how much depth he is probably going into for each class. I have a description of the lessons, the goals or tasks to accomplish for each subject, where you can find it in Steiner's work. So here we've got the lecture that it's from. All of the pieces, I tried to cite them very closely so that it's very easy for you to get them. And again, we have those all listed in the recommended reading section. I also go through and tell you how you can meet the state standards. I utilized the Common Core curriculum when I was writing these, and so we used the standards for the Common Core curriculum, and I went ahead and pulled how you will be able to meet the Common Core, which is pretty stringent as far as curriculum goes. So I would assume that it's probably very close in other countries as well, if you're not from the United States. But this will tell you exactly how you can make those standards work for you based on each subject. And I also give our notes for each subject. So just things, tidbits that I've learned over the years in teaching each one of the subjects. So you can see I go through this for every grade or from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. So this is a like 65-page document that really is a huge part of this course. So there's that. I also give overviews for each of the grades, grades 1 through 7. And what I've done there is I've taken sort of the front end of our curriculum where I talk about each step for the grade. So, you know, whether or not your child is ready for grade 1, whether or not, let's see here, I'm going to scroll down, just different subjects that you'll be considering for each of the grades. So I wanted to make it as user-friendly as possible and sort of give it to you all in one space so that you have sort of the gift of my years of planning as you're going through this. So let's go back here to the course. So that is for in the details for the grades. We go through teaching you how to just dig in and get started. So don't be stressed out about it. We sort of help you look at the big picture, and then at block planning, lesson planning in detail, and we give you these other great resources here. We've got our Ultimate Planner as a resource, a year at a glance that's undated, so that you can utilize that as you're sort of going through and laying things out. A year at a glance that's dated, block planners, daily planners, and I also have provided here our plans for this one was for grade 2 and grade 8. So, and I'm always happy to share what our plans are for the year if you ever have any questions. As of 2016 in the spring, we're teaching grade 3 and grade 9 right now, and so we'll have grade 4 and grade 10 in the fall. So keep that in mind. If you ever have any questions and you want to say, hey, I want to see how you did it, then feel free to drop me a note, and I'm happy to send that to you. We also have a section here on planning with the government in mind, which I think is really helpful for a lot of families that are trying to write their own curriculum and sort of please schools, school governments. And I also find it very useful and helpful for those that are perhaps working with an ex-partner or somebody else that they need to feel like that they're reporting to. So I want to really help you be successful with regards to that, because I know that can be a super stressful time. We also have plenty of videos here. We have compiled all of our planning videos that we've done over the years, and I put them here in one place, so you've got access to all of them sort of as you're going through and doing your planning. And let's see here. if you click down on this, it'll bring up, there's 11 different planning videos. If you're mobile, I'm pretty sure this opens to a playlist in YouTube on the YouTube site. So just keep that in mind when you're going through that. And so that's really the course. The course is amazing if you really take the time for it. I put a ton of work into it because I really wanted you to be in a spot where you could never have to purchase curriculum again, where you would really be able to know what the background is and understand the why and the how behind what you're doing, and it's super important in the long run. So I hope this has been a helpful video. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us up here. Just click on the contact button and shoot me off an email and ask me a question. I'm happy to answer it. Thank you. Bye now.